Jamie, a 1-1 draw this afternoon against Bradford Park Avenue. A real feel of frustration at the end of that?
You want to win every game, you want to win your home games, and when you've had, I think, 20 shots on target, then you should really be winning the game of football. We're all frustrated with it. First half performance I thought was relatively strong. We probably should have gone in with more than one goal to the good. But credit to them again. They're an experienced, resilient team. They hang in. I've watched all the performances so far this season, and they're not generally losing by many. And they don't do over the course of the season. So you need to get a couple to be safe against them. The momentum swung in the second half. They got a little bit of pressure. They had a good sort of 15-20 minute spell where they had a few corners, and unfortunately we weren't able to defend that one. So credit to them, but frustration from us, because if we take our chances, I think the game's out of sight. So overall a feeling of disappointment, but we are now 4 games unbeaten in the league. We've picked up 10 points out of the last 4 games, which is good, and it's not bad form to be going into the next run of 2 or 3 games. We've got a couple of games in hand which mean nothing unless we win, obviously, but the overall feeling is one of frustration, one of disappointment, but at the same time there's lots of positives and some really strong performances today.
Obviously the first half we could have gone down early with a penalty. Obviously their player skied it over the bar, but Bashi took his goal really well, I thought. We can see that he likes to cut in from the right. Is that something we've been looking at exploiting from their side?
Firstly, Bashi will be disappointed with his position for the goal that we conceded and the penalty that we gave away. Credit to Matty for the little bit of whatever it's called when he's standing up. Ollie's misplaced it. It's gone over the bar, and it gives us a little bit of something. I think if they score there, it's a totally different game, and perhaps we go on try and get a little bit of momentum. But they didn't. We worked hard after that, and then Bashi scored an excellent goal. I wouldn't say it's something that we work on. He's a right-footed player playing at that moment on the left, so he can naturally cut inside and get his shots off. But he also drifts on the right-hand side and can cut in on his left. Equally as good, but it's a well-taken goal. He's been out injured now for 4 weeks, and it's good for him just to get that 60 minutes or whatever it was. We had a bit of a cap on him today just to ease him back in. But then Sheds went on and I thought performed very, very well.
You touched on almost it being a bit of a tale of two halves. What can you take, especially from the second half going into next week against Blythe, a tough trip away?
I think we need to take our chances. If we take our chances, we're going to win most of the games that we're involved in. The issue at the moment is that we're coming up against resilient sides like Bradford, who were throwing their bodies on the line. There was lots of blocks. Keepers pulled off a couple of decent saves. They've had their fair share of chances too. But I thought that the work rate from the players, with the way that we play, today, we were looking a little bit vulnerable to the counter. They're quite good on the counter. They drop a couple of quick players deep. But I thought our work rate and endeavour to get back in at one point Henners was 1v1, and then you blinked and we had 6 or 7 players back around. I think Billy was putting in a block. So the endeavour from the players is there. It's second to none. It's the best group of Chorley players that we've had in terms of their work rate, never say die, and what they're putting into games, into training sessions, the intensity levels from them all, led by Scotty and Matty, the winners. They've been great, and we saw that in the second half. So not to be too disappointed. I thought some of the performances were strong, and a special mention. I thought Jacob Blythe was particularly good for us today, and Connor up top caused all sorts of problems, and they made those sort of 50-50 balls more their ball with the way that they played and hustled. So loads of positives. You're obviously frustrated when you can see, especially from the set play.
Just finally then, 1,140 on the gate as well. Circumstances a bit different, obviously rearranged fixture. We took donations for Jake Hibbs and his family. Great to see the fans come out, especially in pretty tricky conditions with all the rain as well.
Yeah, it's not a great day for football in terms of the weather, but the pitch was decent, held up really well. Stuart, our groundsman, and Mel are working wonders with it at the moment. It's probably the best condition that it has been with the weather that we've had. But as you say, the crowd were here, the crowd backed us. We had a lot of young children in as well today, which is good to see, and lots of local younger players in and around making a little bit of noise, so that's great. The players appreciate that, and there's nothing better, from experience, knowing that the fans are on your side and singing and chanting your name. It makes that all a little bit better for the players. So yeah, thank you very much to them, and special mention to the club. I think what they've done today is extremely admirable. not just the fact that it's free, but with the donations going to Jake. I don't know Jake very well, but you know, Mark Bowers just showed his appreciation there on behalf of Jake. So hopefully he's recovered not too long and he can get back on the football pitch.